Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll show you how to use GetResponse and how to create your first email marketing campaign. So I'll show you how you can use all these tools. You probably don't need all of them. I'll show you the tools that you need for your email marketing campaign, for your email automation. So by watching this video to the end, you should be able to create your first list and send email to your list for your business. So without further ado, let's get started. If you would like to skip any part of this video, make sure to check the timestamp in the description below to go straight to the part that you want. So the first step is to sign up for a free account. I'll leave my affiliate link in the description below to GetResponse official website. And once you click on that, you get to this page. Here, you need to click on sign up for free and fill in the information here, your full name, email address, and a password, and then create account. And after you created your account, you just need to log in. And once you log in, you will come to this page. So this is the page that you will see when you log into your GetResponse account. So before I show you the dashboard and the tools here, let me show you what you get when you actually upgrade. So click on this yellow button that says upgrade. Now you can see that we have 4 pricing packages. Okay, if you're just starting out, I think $19 per month is enough. And with that $19, you get one list of 1,000 emails, which you can actually increase that. 1,000 emails, you get email marketing, website builder, autoresponders, and unlimited landing pages. I think this is enough for someone who just wants to start email marketing. But if you want a little bit more complicated and advanced features, like email automation, web events, more users, you can go with this package, which apparently is the most popular one. And if you go 12 month, you get 18% discount. If you go 24 month, you get 30% discount on the prices. So if you're just starting out, I'll probably recommend going with these small packages with $19. And then once your list is getting bigger and bigger, you can actually increase that to 2,500 or maybe 50,000. You know, it depends on the list of your emails. So you can see by increasing the list, you can actually see the price actually increases as well. So for now, I think 1,000 is enough for someone who just wants to start the email marketing. So once we are back in the dashboard, you can see that we have a couple of widgets and the tools here. Okay. Once you click on the tools, you can see we have a lot of tools to choose from. And it can be a little bit overwhelming when you see all these tools because you're probably not going to use all of them. I'm going to walk you through the main tools that you need for your email marketing campaigns. And I'm not going to overwhelm you with all these tools. I will give you a quick overview of what's happening here, but I'm going to walk you through the main one that you need for your email marketing. Okay. So once you see these widgets, you can see that we got a couple of widgets here. You can simply just drag it and drop them anywhere you want, move it to the side, or you can simply just remove the widget if you want to. If you would like to add more widgets, scroll down a little bit and click on this add new widget. And now it actually loads all the widgets for you. You can just add whatever. If you want to make it like a shortcut to a new contact or a sign up source and things like that, it can actually make it a little bit easier for you to access all these tools. But if you don't need them, you don't need to actually add widgets to your homepage. It's up to you, man. It's up to you. But for now, I'm not going to touch this. And the first thing that you need for your email marketing is email. Okay. And in order to add email, what you need is a list. So you need a list to add the emails to that specific list. So what you need to do, the first thing is to go to the contact section. So here is the page with a default list. You can see I have a default list, and every time you create your account, there is a list in your contact section. Okay, so a list is basically connected to everything. So if you go to the tools, okay, if you want to do email marketing, autoresponder, if you want to create a landing page, form, whatever you do, you need a list for that. Okay, so before you do your email marketing or creating the forms and things like that, you need to have your list first. Okay, and in order to create a list, just come over here and click on this create list. Now let's say I would like to have a list for my fitness or my business list. Okay, it depends on what's your purpose of creating the list. So for example, fitness, fitness list. Okay, I'll create a list for that. Create a list, and you can see that the list is added. So now it's time to add contacts to the list. And in order to add contacts, you can simply click on these three dots and add contacts here, or you can click on this add contacts and then select the list that you would like to add contacts to. So now I'm going to select the fitness list, and here you have two options. You can manually add contacts to it by entering the emails, like for example test@gmail.com, whatever you want to call it, and gmail.com, and put in the name, whatever you want to call it, manual, whatever, and then add it to the list. You can see, please confirm this email has, I need to confirm this as well. Okay. So now I have added that contact to my fitness list. Or you can upload a file, which is probably an easier option. So by selecting this, you can simply drag and drop your email list here, and it will give you three options. You can add and update existing contacts, or you can only add it and without updating it, or you can only update the existing contacts. And then you need to grant permission, next, and it will automatically add the contacts to your lists. Also, when you are importing a list, you can see that we have a couple options here. We have upload file or connect service. You can connect it from any of these services. You can simply copy and paste it here as well, or you can migrate a list from other email marketing tools like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign. You can just select it and then drag and drop the files here as well. So the process is exactly the same thing, and then you can add the contacts. Now, after you created the list, you need to connect the list to one of these tools. Like if you want to do email marketing, or if you want to create a form, you can simply connect any of these lists here, or any of the lists that you have created, to one of these tools, which I'm going to show you how you can actually use that as well. So one thing that will help you save money when it comes to email marketing and lists is segments. Okay, you know, we have search here, and then we got segments. For search, you basically search for a certain contact and you find it, nothing really special. But when it comes to segments, imagine you have a list, okay? And then you have this list of business, and then you got a list of fitness list, right? And there are certain people who are in both lists, okay? If you have multiple lists and you add them to that specific list, you basically pay for the number of contacts. But if you have the same contact in both lists, instead of creating the list, you can create segments, okay? And once you click on segment, it's a contacts list. Now, in order to create segment for that people, what you need to do, you need to select the list first, okay? And now here there is a condition. After you select the list, there is add condition, okay? Now you can select, okay? You can tag them, but you see, you need to pay for this feature. Apparently you can tag certain people to certain lists instead of creating separate lists, okay? So one person who is in both lists has two tags, one for business and one for fitness, okay? So, or you can actually send email to people who were engaged in your previous email, right? So imagine you have sent through an email and people were engaged in that first email, and you want to send the second email to those people who actually were engaged, okay? So what you need to do, you need to click on this contact details, okay? And now from here, you can select engagement score, okay? Click on engagement, equal to, you can go equal to or is other than or greater than neutral, okay? Then you apply it, and after you did it, you need to save as segment, okay? You need to save it, which I cannot do it right now, which I need to upgrade. So you basically create a segment of people who are more engaged, or you can call it higher engagement, all right? And then you create a segment. And then when you want to send email, instead of sending email to a list, you can send email to a segment, okay? So make sure to use this segment, because this would definitely save you time and money at the same time. So segments are very important when it comes to email marketing. Make sure to use this segment section. Okay, and all you need to do, you need to select the list and then create all the segments as I've shown you before. If you like this video so far, I really appreciate if you tap that like button so more people can actually watch this video and learn how to use GetResponse. Now that we have created our list, when we want to send email, the emails will be sent from the email that you registered. For example, your name at gmail.com. Okay. If you would like to change that, you need to go back to this profile, click on manage account, and now it actually loads the email that's going to show for people. Now go to the email addresses, and this is the email that people will see once you start sending emails. And it doesn't look professional. At the same time, there's a really high chance of this email land under spam or junk folder. So what you need to do, if you have a website or a little bit more customized, more professional email, you just need to add your email by clicking this add email button. And now you just type in the name. I'm going to type Manny, and I'm going to use the emails from one of my websites. I'll call it info@reviewsclear.com. So this is the email that I'm going to use, and click on add. And please verify your new email. So what they do, they actually send email to the new email address, and what you got to do, you got to go back to your email and confirm that specific email. Click on got it. Now I have logged into my email, and you can see I have received the email. Now all I got to do is just to confirm this email, and it automatically goes back to GetResponse. So you can see that the domain is actually added. Okay, and the email is also added here as well and confirmed. But the authentication is pending, and now it's better to authenticate it because it actually increases the chance of delivering your emails. And in order to do that, click on, you should have an authenticate button here. I just clicked it once, that's why it's showing pending. Now you see a code here. What you need to do is to copy this code and add it to the text record. If you don't know how to do it, you can, if you using Bluehost, I'm going to show you how to do it because I'm using Bluehost. If you're using other web hostings, you can just contact them and ask them to add this text to the text records. Now I'm going to show you how you can actually add it to the Bluehost. So if you're using Bluehost or other domain providers, you need to, for Bluehost, you need to log in and then go to the domains. Okay, my domains. And now I need to select the domain that I'm using, which is reviewsclear.com. I'm going to click on manage. Now I need to search for text. Okay. Now we need to add the new text record here. So in order to do this, click on add record. And now we need to add the host record. The host record is basically this text. You need to copy it till this dot, until you get to this dot before the actual domain name. You need to copy this and paste it here. And then the value, you need to copy this value and go back here, put it here. The TTL, I'm going to set it on 4 hours, and now click on save. Okay, trying to add it. Already exists. Already did it. So it already exists. So for you, this is how you can actually add the TXT record to your domain or web hosting or a domain provider. Okay, so after it is added, it will take a couple of hours for this to propagate. So now we need to click on got it, and this authentication is now pending. So you need to come back and check this out to see if it's authenticated after a couple of hours, which is going to take a couple of hours. And then by authenticating this email, you actually increase the chance of delivering your emails to your audience. So in most cases, this is not going to land under junk or spam folder. And there's one last thing here. After you have added the email, make sure to make it the default. As you can see, this is the default one. You want to make this as the default. So in order to make it default, hover over these 3 dots and set it as default. And that's it. And this is our default email that we're going to use for sending our emails. Now that we have created the email, before we create our first form, let's go back to our list one more time. Let's go to the contacts and now go into the list. In this list, we got the settings, okay? So click on this, hover over this 3 dots and go to settings for every list. And there's a little bit of a configuration that you probably need to do. This is the list name, list title, list description. You can just put it here for your information. Category, you can choose a category if you want. It's just for your personal category. Language, and there is a logo that you probably need to add. You need to add the logo of your company or your website, whatever you're using, and a link to the website. So every time people click on the logo, they can go to your actual website. Okay. Now we got this section here, subscription. So for subscription, you can actually get a notification. If you turn it on, you get a notification. So every time someone actually gets added to a list, you get notification. This can be a little bit annoying. I don't recommend it. And the double opt-in. So if you want to make sure there are real people opting into your list, you can actually activate these two. And if you do that, you need to go back to this tab and configure it as well. Okay, so you need to actually select the from address to that actual brand, replying to whatever, and the default body template. Okay, so the subject line would be please confirm your subscription to your company address or your actual website, and this is actually how it works. So I don't normally recommend it because that actually reduces the number of users, because it can be a little bit annoying for people to double opt in. So I don't normally recommend it. And here we got a preview of unsubscribe and unsubscribe success page. So you can actually open, let me just open it and show you how it looks. So these are the pages. So this is how it looks, and the unsubscribe as well. So this is how the actual unsubscribe looks as well. So let me go back here. Okay. And here at the general tab, we also got show the postal address as well. So in some countries, you definitely need to show your address as well. So you need to turn that on. But in some countries, you don't need it. So depending on where you're trying to send your emails to, you need to activate or deactivate that one as well. So these are the tabs that you probably need in the list. So go through them and just make the changes that you need to make it a little bit more informative for yourself and the people who are going to receive your emails. Now let's go back and do our first sign up form. So now that we have created our list and customized the email, it's time to actually create a form, an opt-in form, so we can actually collect the emails. Okay, so in order to create the form, you can go to this quick actions and click on create form, or you can go to the tools and then select forms. Okay, so I'm gonna click create form from here. And now you can see we have this create form option. So here in this list builder wizard, we have so many options to choose from. And you can actually choose the category from here, from the template, general, or newsletter, free download. I'm going to select free download, and you can actually choose the type of it. You want it wider or you want max, square. It depends on what you need it for. For example, if you want to use it for website, I think the white could be a better option. So I'm going to select one of them. I'm going to select this one. So in order to use any of the templates, just click on use template. And this is the editor. Editing this template is super easy. If you would like to change the size of it, you can simply just drag it and change the size of it if you want to. And editing this, I don't want to bore you with editing this template, but I'm sure you can definitely do better editing than me. But I'm going to show you just quickly how you can edit this template. If you want to change the size, if you would like to add more fields, you can simply drag. If you like to, for example, add last name, simply drag and drop the last name, and you can add more fields added to your template like this. And if you want to get rid of it, you can just delete it. And you also need to have that specific field in your list as well. Make sure you have that as well. If you would like to change the layout or style of it, you can simply change the colors and make it lighter or brighter or darker. And this is how you can actually use it. It's not really complicated at all. After you have added the fields, if you want to, and made your final result, you can actually have multiple variants of it. And in order to do that, click on this plus button and you can see you have multiple variants. For example, in one of them you can have only first name. Sorry, you can have only email, and in the other one you can have the first name and the email, and see how many people actually opt into your email list if you have the first name, and in case if you don't have the first name, right? You make it easier for people to opt into your list. So you can have multiple variants of the templates. After you have finished with the template, you can just preview it, click on this preview button and see how the actual final result looks. So this is our final result of the second variant. And let me just check this out. Okay. And this is how it looks. So after you have finished with editing the templates, you need to publish it. So before we publish it, we need to actually go to settings and connect a list to a template. So this sign up form is not linked to anywhere. I need to link it. And in order to do it, click on the settings button. And now we can actually connect it to one of the lists that we have already created. So the first thing that we have is a form. So we're going to call it web form 1. And choose a list. I'm going to link it to the fitness list or whatever list you want to link it to. Confirm opt-in. I don't need it. I don't recommend it. And add it to the cycle. If you have an autoresponder, it will add it to a cycle. So you can go through that cycle and try to send email to the people in the list. Because I don't have it, I'm not going to use it for now. And choose thank you page. So after people actually opt into your list, they can either stay on the page or they can go to a custom link. Okay, if you have a website, for example, yourwebsite.com/thank you. Okay, so after people have opted into your list, they can go to this page if you want to. If you don't want to, they can either stay on the same page. Already subscribed URL, stay on the same page as well. And that's pretty much it. Forward contact data, choose tracking custom field. We don't need that. And now I can actually save the settings. So this sign up form is linked to my fitness list. So every time people actually opt into this list, it would get added to the actual fitness list. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works. So after you have done it, make sure to publish it. So after you have published the forms, you have 3 options. In order to be able to show this form to people in the world, what you can do, you can either copy this and paste it to your website. I'll show you how you can do that on WordPress. If you have a web designer, you can just select this and send optional message, which I think you should also paste the JavaScript of this form as well and send it to them and ask them to publish it for you. Or if you don't have a website and don't have a web designer and you still want to use it, you can select this one, GetResponse link, and copy this link, okay? And now go back. Let me just open it. Sorry. Just paste it here. And this is how the page actually looks. So you can actually copy and paste this link to wherever you want so people can actually access it everywhere in the world, okay? I think I have published the second variant. I'm going to publish the first variant as well and then embed it in my website. So this is my website and I would like to show this sign up form that I have just created in my website. I'm going to show it in the right sidebar here. Also going to show it in the middle of a page as well. So let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. This is the WordPress dashboard. What you need to do, if you want to show it at the sidebar, hover over the appearance and click on widgets. Once you go to widgets, you need to actually set which one you want to add it to? I'm gonna add it to the right sidebar. So click on this add block button and search for custom HTML. Okay, click on custom HTML and copy this JavaScript. Just go back here and paste it here. Okay, let me just update it. Okay, now let's go back to our website and refresh the page. And boom, it's now loading. So this is probably not the best size to put it in the sidebar because I've chosen the white template, but I'm gonna get rid of this one and add it to the middle of a page as well. So let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. So in order to add it in a page or post, I'm just gonna create a new page. Let me just add a new page. And here in this new page, I'm going to show this JavaScript, this actual form in the middle of the middle of the page. So the title would be, I'm gonna call it download ebook. Okay. And then here you need to add a block here as well and search for custom HTML. It's the custom HTML. Let me just go back here, copy the JavaScript again. Sorry, not this one. So let me just get rid of this one. Let me just get rid of it from, let me just get rid of this block from the sidebar, update it. Now let's go back to the page. This is the page. I'm gonna paste the HTML here. Let me just see how it looks. If you go to preview, it's now loading, and this is how this is gonna look. Now, if I go to preview and preview a new tab, you can see simply but just copy and pasting the JavaScript, you will have the whole form for your page or your post or your sidebar. And this is how it works. And now I'm going to test it. Okay. I'm going to call the name Matty2. I'm going to call it Matty. Okay. And I'm going to call it Matty Test2 at gmail.com, whatever you want to call it. Now this guy has logged into this website and now he's opting into my email list, and now I can actually change this button after he has opted into my website. I could send him to the page that he could actually download a PDF file, or he can either stay on his page. As we have said it before, he's going to stay on this page right now, but I'm going to test it if this email is going to get added to my email list. So let me just click on get free ebook. Okay, now I'm expecting this email to be added to the actual list. So let's go back to our GetResponse dashboard, click on contacts, and you can see fitness list has now 2 items. Now let's go to the fitness list, and you can see mattytest2 at gmail.com is actually added to our fitness list. And this is how easy it is to collect email and ask people to opt into your email list using GetResponse. After creating the form, if you want to access it, edit it, or update it, or even delete it, what you need to do, you need to go to the tools and now click on forms. Okay, now you can see the form that you have already created. If you want to access the JavaScript, hover over these 3 dots and now copy form code. By copying the form code, you can actually access the JavaScript of the code, and you can paste it on different websites, even Shopify or WordPress, wherever you want to copy and paste it and to use it, you can actually do it. Also, if you would like to edit it, you can edit the form here. If you liked it, you want to have a duplicate of it, you can duplicate it. And if you don't like it, you can actually get rid of it and delete it here as well. If you would like to see the actual form, you can hover over and click on view online, or you can click on this URL to actually see how the actual form looks. The next thing to use is the list builder apps. And in order to use these apps, click on create form. And now you can see we have list builder wizard and list builder apps. The list builder apps are pretty much the same thing as List Builder Wizard, but they have a little bit more functionalities. For example, we got fixed bar, we got exit pop-up, we got sign up box. And in order to use any of these apps, simply click on the apps, which in this case, I'm going to use exit pop-up. So click on the pop-up app. And now you can see how this app actually looks. So in order to edit it, simply click on any label or any text box that you want to change. And the same way you can edit the color or the text of this app as well. Okay, after you made your changes, make sure to save and publish it. Also, you need to set the display frequency, so make sure you're using the right frequency. For example, if you put it on always for exit pop-up, this pop-up is going to pop up every time people are trying to exit your website, so they can basically close the tab. So make sure you're using the right frequency. After, you can also select the background as well to put it on transparent, light or dark, and other things as well. And after you have made your changes, make sure to save and publish. And once you save and publish, you will get a JavaScript code that you can use it for your website. And I'm going to show you how you can use it for your website as well. So copy the JavaScript. After you copied it, you can go to a website, and in your website section, hover over appearance. You can either put it on the widgets or you can put it in the theme file editor. And I'll show you how you can use it for both of them. So let me just go to the file editor. In the file editor, you can paste the code here in the footer or the header, okay? Or you can put it in the footer or you can put it in the header. It's up to you. So in the header section, you can just come here and just paste the file here, paste the JavaScript here, okay? And then update the file, okay? Or you can go to the widgets and add a new widgets and search for custom HTML and paste the JavaScript file here and update it. Okay, after you have saved your file, if you go to your website one more time, let me go to the reviews clear and okay, go into the website. And now after the file is loaded, when you're trying to exit, the pop-up actually pops up, and this can be a good way to actually collect more emails from people who have visited your website. So here people can put in the name and email address and sign up to the email list. You also need to link a list to this pop-up as well, so it will be added to that specific list as well. Now that we know how to create a sign-up form, how to use the apps and embed it in your actual website, you can also use the integration to load your GetResponse forms and landing pages into your website as well. All you need to do is to actually install the GetResponse plugin in your WordPress account and then connect it using the API, and then you can actually load the forms and use it if you want to. That you can use the same thing for WooCommerce as well. I personally like JavaScript because it's faster and it's easier to use, but the same way you can actually use the integrations. Now that we know how to create the sign-up forms, the same way you can create landing pages, the same way you can create forms, conversion funnels, and website builders. They're pretty much the same sort of structure, but there are only more pages involved in that process. So what you need to do, you need to use the same structure, but create more forms. You make sure also, if you want to use a custom domain, to update your CNAMEs in your domain or your web hosting providers, so you can actually use the custom domains as well. Now that we have created our list and sign up forms, it's time to actually create our first email marketing campaign using these newsletters. So in order to do it, you can either click on this create newsletter here or go to the tools and select email marketing. Once you're in email marketing, you can see all the email marketing campaigns that you have created here. Because we haven't created any, there's nothing here. You can see the drafts. You can also see the A/B testing, the templates, the RSS to email, and statics. So for here, I'm just going to click on newsletter and create a newsletter. In order to do it, click on this blue button that says create newsletter. And now you can see that we have a couple of options here. Now we can select the from address. So we have already changed it to a customized email address, which is info at, in my case is reviewsclear.com. You can change it to whatever you want to be. And reply to, it's also the same thing. You can change it if you want to. Okay, if you want to add a new address, you can click on add a new address to reply to another address. The subject, it can be whatever. It can be hi, or you can also select a username, birthday, campaign, city, and things like that. I'm going to select first name, so it would be hi space and the first name of your recipient. And the recipient, we have already created a list, so we can choose from them. So in order to do it, click on this blue button that says add recipient. You can select all the list and send email to all of them, or you can select only one of them. And for example, I'm going to select fitness list and add it. And then I can design the content as well. You can also exclude certain people if you want to. It's up to you. If you don't want to, you can leave it as it is. You can also design the content, okay, by clicking design message. And here you can choose a design, okay? So you can choose whatever you want, but I personally don't recommend using it because in many cases this can go to the spam folder. I do recommend selecting blank template, okay, and creating your own templates if you want to. And here I'm going to choose this one, okay? So click on use template. And now you can see we have this blank template that we can create for our email marketing campaign. So here we got a couple of blocks, so basic blocks that we can use, like text, for example. You can simply drag the text and add it here and add your text, or if you're sending as an email marketing as an affiliate, you can just copy and paste the text here, or you can create your own text if you want to. I'm gonna type in, this is a test, okay? And then I'm gonna have a product. For example, this is a link. This is a link. If you wanna actually link it to other website, you can select it and click on this button, okay? And then type in the actual URL, for example, your reviews clear, for example, okay, and it goes blue. If you would like to add more blocks, simply click somewhere in the actual page and then select another block that you can use. I can use divider, okay, I'm gonna put it here. And then if you would like to add a button, for example, you can simply drag and drop the button here, and then you can see if you got the text, the button text here. If you have a downloadable sort of email, you can just click on, you can type in download and then link it to your PDF file. If it is a Dropbox or anywhere else, you can simply add the URLs here as well. So every time people click on download, they can actually download the PDF or whatever the file is. The same way you can add other images, videos, and things like that. They also have added the e-commerce section. So you can actually add, for the free version, you can use the promo code. Simply drag and drop the promo code and add the promo code that you are going to use. The same way like that. After you have made your changes, you can click on test and preview and send a test message, okay? So in this case, I'm gonna send this message as a test message to my email and see how it actually looks. If you like this message, you can actually use it. If you want to change it, you can change it the way you want and then send the final results, okay? After you have made the changes, click next. And now you can actually schedule it to send it. You can also make sure to enable this click tracking, because this track, the track click-through rate on this message to see which contacts clicked your links, so you can see who are actually clicking your links, who are interacting with your links, which is good. So I personally recommend enabling this, and now I can simply send this email and send it to the list, or I can schedule it and then send it later on. And now you can schedule it later and then click on send message, and at a certain time you can actually send all those messages to your recipients. And this is how that email actually looks. I didn't put in the first name, so it says hi first name. If I put in my first name, it would say hi Manny or whatever. And this is how I've created the link. You can see that powered by GetResponse, because it's a free version. It is showing this logo. If you're using the actual premium version, you don't see this. And also you can see that it goes from info at reviews clear is a custom email, which is good, which I've already changed that. And this is the final result of how our email actually looks. Now, if you have multiple emails that you would like to send at different times, you can use email sequences or the autoresponders. And in order to use the autoresponder, you can hover over this quick action and click on create autoresponder, or you can go to the tools and click on autoresponder. So you can see that we don't have any autoresponder set yet. So we are going to create our first autoresponder. And in order to create it, click on this blue button that says create autoresponder. So here we need to set up the name for autoresponder. I'm going to call it welcome autoresponder. And then we need to set a link, okay? Link list. So out of the list that we have created, I'm going to set the fitness list to this autoresponder. And here you can set the time that you would like to send an email once people actually opt into your list. So when it says 0, it means instantly going to send an email. You can set it at 1 or 2 or more. So after a couple of days, you can actually send them email. Okay, I'm going to set it at 0. So as soon as the same time the people sign up to the email list, they're going to get an email. And then you can also set accept any day that you want. For example, if you don't want to send emails on maybe Saturday, you can just get rid of them, or Sunday, you can get rid of them, or you can put all every day. Okay, I'm going to set at every day. And now we're going to set the from address. You can change the from address. Okay, this is the address that we already created. And then reply to, the same way, you can change the reply to or add another recipient. Okay, another address. Subject, I'm going to call it welcome, and you can set a name here. I'm going to put in the name, for example, the first name, welcome, first name, and you can put whatever you want. Description and design, this is exactly the same way. You can design a message. For example, I'm going to choose a design from the pre-built templates, and in this case, I'm going to choose one of them. I'm going to select this one. So I'm going to use this template for this autoresponder. And now you can change the logo, change the text, whatever you want to change. You can just go through it. This is how our email actually looks. Okay. This is just an example. And the same way you can add images, text, buttons, and things like that. I'm assuming you already know how you can actually change this stuff. And then click on, you can actually save it if you want to. We can also send a test here if you want to. Also, it's good to do a spam check as well. So because sometimes these emails may end up going to your spam folder. So I personally recommend doing this. Do the spam check so you can see this is looking good to go. So spam check passed. And now click on next. And we go back to our autoresponder. So we are sending that email to the people who, this is as a welcome message, just an example. And then here, these options are not enabled, click tracking and things like that. And then these options also not enabled because I'm using the free version. And then you can save and publish if you want to. So or you can save it and don't publish it if you want to. I click on save and publish. I need to upgrade it. And this is how you can actually create an autoresponder for your email marketing campaign. Now that we have created our email autoresponder and email sequence, it's time to create the workflow, okay, or the actual flow chart of our emails. Okay, in order to do it, you can go to the tools and click on automation, or you can go back to this quick action and click edit widget and actually add it to the widget. And this is called create workflow. Okay, let's check that in and apply. Okay, now the workflow is actually added to the quick action. And in order to create our workflow, click on this create workflow button. Okay, Now we have a couple of options. You can see that you can create from scratch, or you can use any of these templates. Okay. In this tutorial, I'm going to use this welcome message. Okay. So in order to use it, click on use template. Okay. And now when you're here, if you start from scratch, you probably will see this option is turned on. Okay. And that will tell you exactly how you can choose the different elements to add it to your workflow. But I'm not going to use it for now. I'm going to use this default thing. So here you can see we have different conditions, different actions, and different filters that you can use for your workflow. For example, if someone opened a message, you can just drag and drop it here. And then after you send a message, okay, that you can create a message here the same way that we have created a message. Then you can check if someone has opened the message or not, for example. And if they have opened a message, you can assign them to a tag maybe, right? For example, let's just drop the tag assign here. Okay, if they have opened the message, you can assign them to a tag. And if they haven't opened the message, they can assign them to a different tag. Okay, and now the people who have opened the tag, who have opened the message and assigned to the first tag, they could probably wait for a couple of days. So we get this wait action here. So they can actually wait for a couple of days. Okay, so here you can set the dates. For example, wait for example, 2 days or 20 days or whatever, 3 days. And then after 3 days, you can send another email. Okay, and this is how you can actually add elements to your workflow to have a workflow for your email marketing campaigns. And make sure after you have created your workflow to save and publish. So it is saved and published, so it's applicable to your email, so you can actually use it. Okay, let me just save and publish it. Okay, I need to upgrade my account, but yeah, and that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I really appreciate it if you tap that like button for me. And if you haven't subscribed and you like this sort of content, make sure to subscribe and tap that little bell so you don't miss out the next video. Thanks for watching.